We're here in the rolling hills of South Australia, about an hour outside of Adelaide, and this home is known for its modern take on the traditional barn. Filled with lots of natural materials and great use of texture, it's also nominated as possibly the best custom home for 2019. Hey Susie, how are you?
James, good, thank you.
Great to be here. I've got to say, I didn't know what I was in for. I'm driving through what I know is a new estate, and as I've come around the corner, I found your amazing home. It feels like it should sort of be on acreage. It feels much more rural than this residential location.
Yeah, it's so good to hear you say that, because that's, I guess, exactly what we were trying to do. We wanted to see if we could make a home that would more traditionally be on acreage actually work on a smaller residential block. So it's only 600 square metres here, but we feel like it sits really well.
It looks like it might have been an older building that's been recycled. There's definitely a country, farmy, sort of barny vibe here. Explain the concept.
Yeah, well, I think we managed to do that through the use of the different materials. So the brick that's obviously made to look old, and then bringing in the pops of timber as well, and then setting all of that against the black, I think gave that effect.
It's a perfect mix.
We investigated a number of products on the market, but we just kept coming back to the Sky on Stria. It kind of ticked all the boxes in terms of being economical. It gave us the look that we wanted, and it was also, our chippies tell us it was really easy to install.
Well, it ticks the boxes in that case. It feels great when you arrive at the home, but I can't wait to get inside and have a look.
Yeah, let's do it.
Now, Susie, I know that you're a husband and wife team.
Yes.
When it comes to the building, where does the line finish of the design versus the interiors? Because you've definitely got your stamp over this whole home.
Yeah, absolutely. I do run everything by Aaron. I just don't tell him how much certain things are costing.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's basically how it
balances the relationship.
Absolutely, and I think he knows now not to ask as well. But yeah, I do bounce the ideas off of him, but he very much, now we've gotten to a stage that he really just lets me run with it.
Well, in your defence, I've got to say you've managed to get some high-end finishes and lots of interest and texture, but even the subway, they're not an expensive tile, but you've laid them in a clever way. So it's about using materials in a clever way, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that that's something that we really always try and do. So the basins, for example, are a more high-end product and was something that I wanted to use, but we could pair that back by a cheaper tile but laying it in an interesting way. So it's just finding that balance.
Yeah, it is a good balance.
Yeah.
Now, when we come to the left from the front, we end up in this fantastic space.
Yeah.
This feels so big and tall, and the height is fantastic.
Yeah.
We've got a big open plan living, dining, kitchen downstairs, but this space here is an added bonus.
Yeah, absolutely, the loft. The loft certainly drove some of the design right at the start. We didn't want to lose the treetop views that we have out of the windows, and even when the block gets built on over the road, we wanted to maintain the views of those trees. So if we could incorporate a loft, we would always have that beautiful view.
Another great thing, we talk about, you know, the repetition of finishes, and you've done that throughout the house cleverly, but you brought the outside inside in a couple of good ways. That fantastic brickwork, it almost feels like a ski lodge. It runs right up, but it's the same finish outside.
Yeah, that's right.
And you've repeated that Stria board look in a thinner profile in the roof.
We have, that's right. So it was just trying to repeat that look again. So we've used the same V-groove on the roof, and we've also used it in our cabinetry as well.
This is a fantastic sized master suite, Susie.
It is, isn't it?
I like the use of the term pavilion. I think it's very clever because it helps you sort of segregate how you use a home and how you design a home. And you've got the main pavilion, that tall barn feel in the centre, the front pavilion of the sleeping zone for the kids' rooms and the bathroom, and then we've got this one, but it creates that beautiful C shape in the middle.
It does.
Again, another barn, farm sort of thing with that centre courtyard.
Yeah, and I think the beauty of that courtyard too is people don't realise that it's there from the street. So we've had a lot of people come through and they're surprised to see that, and they love that element.
Yep.
And it also means wherever you are in the house, there's something interesting and beautiful to look at as well.
Now this suite is a big room, but we've got the ensuite in there and a really generous walk-in robe.
Yeah, I have to say that became one of my favourite spaces in the end, and that tile choice was last minute. So we swapped one out at the very last minute, and I'm so happy with it.
kitchens are such a hub of family life for Australian homes.
Yeah.
You know, you've got the kids coming. It's sometimes the only time you get to spend time with everyone and catch up on what we're all doing. It's all around this island, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Another country thing.
Yeah, very, very true. And even, which was unexpected, but the staircase works as a bit of a seat. So we find that our children are often sitting there while my mum's working in the kitchen, and they're still able to have a conversation and be a part of the space.
But you've chosen a little bit of hint of colour here.
Yeah, I really, really wanted to have this deep dark navy with the pop of the rose gold against it. And after discussions with the cabinet maker, we thought that having the really dark base and then a lighter roof would help to make the space feel bigger.
If you said that you've got a pink and a deep inky blue in a kitchen, it might go, oh, do they work?
I think a few people went, oh, is that going to work? Including my husband. So it was a bit of a risk, but knowing that it was going to be a female living in here, we felt like we could use the bush pink in the kitchen again, and I love the way it looks.
Yeah, well, look, do you know what? I think it actually can work for an all-male place as well, because it's offset with that inky blue. It's a soft colour, and it just adds a hint of colour to it, which you can easily pick up, and you have done in your styling. I feel like I'm having my relaxing country experience in suburbia. I just sort of expect to cue a sheep or geese or something to run in the background, but it's a beautiful home, and I've absolutely enjoyed sharing it with you. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much, James.